positions for this year to be transferred to other countries, of which the two major ones will be Germany and France. And it's not Germany alone. That is an incorrect view. France has made it very clear that it stands shoulder to shoulder with Germany and will be receiving a very substantial number, including Austria, Spain, Belgium and the Netherlands.
Joe, the Prime Minister, or former Prime Minister Tony Abbott, also said that the humane approach, as it has been seen by Angela Merkel and others, potentially poses questions about social cohesion. He is effectively saying, and he said directly, that this could change the face of Europe. It could change Europe forever. Is that a potential likelihood, and is Europe prepared for that?
Yes, Europe is prepared for that. It's more responsible leaders and substantial organizations understand the challenge. But as Merkel said, for every refugee that comes into the country, there are hundreds and hundreds of us for each refugee or asylum seeker. So integration will pose challenges, economic, social and psychological. But responsible leaders of Europe understand that they have a major responsibility. And you know, it's very interesting and regrettable, as well as interesting, that an Australian Prime Minister who happens to be as it turns out, a Catholic, does not follow the advice of the leader of his own church, which is Pope Francis, who has repeatedly said that Europe can and will and must accept more and more refugees and asylum seekers. And let's face it, he is placed at the centre of Europe, one of the countries that is the major port of call to begin with, and that is Italy. So I'm afraid that what Prime Minister Abbott former Prime Minister Abbott was saying in London to a highly conservative audience will simply go over the heads of most other responsible leaders in Europe and will have very, very little traction indeed.
Joe, this was the Margaret Thatcher lecture. One of the points that Tony Abbott made was that Margaret Thatcher shaped the world rather than the world shaping her. She controlled events. Events did not control her. Can you draw a line from what he's saying there, from the approach that Margaret Thatcher took, which was often very aggressive, very assertive, very confrontational, and you look at Europe, which effectively now is struggling to deal with a problem that often appears beyond their control?
No, I think Germany has a very foresighted view that it needs the major economic and social resource which these people from various parts of the Middle East and Africa are bringing to Germany. Germany has virtually a static population. It is looking to the future. It is considering how, in both human and material terms, this to some extent unforeseen movement of people can be turned to the advantage of Europe, to the construction of a new, highly culturally diverse but nevertheless harmonious set of societies proceeding on a European-wide front. And despite all the hullabaloo, that is precisely, in my opinion, humble opinion, what is going to unfold before us. Europe will be greatly strengthened by these developments. There will be challenges. There will be some points of division, particularly on certain fringes of society. But I think by and large they will be overcome and Europe will remain united, contrary to some dire predictions.
Professor Joseph Camilleri, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
Now it's time to take a look at the rest of the day's news here.